all right, brothers and sisters, I'm back at it again. This time to speak with you about the number 10. A nice portion of you have seen the number 10 in your dreams and your visions, and you went straight to Google and YouTube and you typed in the number 10, and you got some angel numbers that popped up and they trying to tell you about how things are going to go in your life. I want to go ahead and tell you up front, this is not a video that has to deal with angel numbers, and it's not having to deal with gematria as well. This is giving you the biblical definition from the spiritual aspect. I will be drawing my definitions and meanings today from my book right here entitled The Spiritual and Prophetic Meaning of Numbers. This book right here has taken years to compile, and it's been able to look at the scriptures, kind of with a fine-tooth comb and see how the Most High has been using this number over and over and over again. And based on how the Most High uses this number over and over and over again, I've been able to draw certain words and certain definitions based off of how the Most High use it. So if you're a person that sees the number 10 over and over again in your dreams and your visions, keep these words in your mind. 10 is associated with order, instructions, testing, trials. It's associated with the Most High. It's associated with judgment or punishment, and it's associated with completion. All right, so keep that in mind. As we are now starting to move on with the double-digit numbers, I want you to keep that in mind. So it is now that we are moving forward from the single-digit numbers, it's time to elaborate on the first of the double-digit numbers. 10 and 1 are similar because they both start a new cycle of numbers. But as you will clearly see in the chapter, they have completely different meanings and words attached to them. So number 1 is judgment. And like I said in some of the other videos in past, I'm not going to read you every single definition, every single scripture, every single word from this book. All right, it's going to be up to you. You can search through the scriptures your own to find them, or you can just get you a copy of this book and you can read it on your own. All right, but number 1, 10 is associated with judgment. So if you frequently see the number 10 in your visions and your dreams, stop where you are at and say a prayer. Ask the Almighty if He is about to bring judgment on you or someone that's close to you. In Exodus chapter 9 through 11, we see where the Most High pronounced judgment on all of the 10 gods of Egypt or the deities of Egypt. This punishment came in the form of 10 plagues that left the Egyptians completely flabbergasted. All right, Numbers chapter 14 and 37. Even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land, they died by the plague before the Most High. 10 men brought the evil report, and they all died by the plague. 10 is associated with judgment. As we see that the Most High brought judgment on the 10 gods of Egypt. Numbers 14 and 22, because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, have tempted me now these 10 times and have not hearkened unto my voice. They tempted him. 10 associated with that. All right, we got 10 associated with judgment. Right here, they tempted them 10 times and they got punished for that. It's 1 Samuel 25 and 38. And it came to pass about 10 days after that the Most High struck Nabal that he died. Nabal was this man that was never married to Abigail, did not want to feed King David, did not want to help him and his men out when they was going through the land. King David and his men could have went and robbed him, took his stuff, but King David held back because Abigail came out, brought them food. And 10 days later, 10 is associated with judgment. The Most High struck Nabal and he died. Deuteronomy 23 and 2, a bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High, even until the 10th generation shall he not enter it. Punishment for the children that back in that time who were not children that were born of an Israelite union, a marriage. It said the Ammonite and the Moabite, they should not enter into the congregation even until their 10th generation. Pay attention to that, because they brought you not bread. Leviticus 23 and 27. And on the 10th day of the 7th month, there should be a day of atonement unto you. Day of atonement, for those that keep the festivals and the holy days, it is the highest day of the year. It's called the high Sabbath. And that's the day where people try to make sure that they get their alts and they have unforgiveness in their heart. They're trying to get it right for the Day of Atonement because it's symbolic of the Day of Judgment. Now, people, if you have an altar or a grudge against someone, you should try to get it right immediately. But some people, they wait till the Day of Atonement to get it right because the Day of Atonement symbolizes judgment. All right, the next word we're going to talk about as it relates to the number 10 is order or law. In Exodus chapter 20, the children of Israel were given 10 commandments to govern their lives. Of course, more commandments will be given as time progressed, but their instructions started with these 10. So we relate 10 to the number of law and instructions, all right? Daniel chapter 2 and verse 33, his legs are iron, his feet were part iron and part clay. So there was the statue within Daniel chapter 2 that Nebuchadnezzar saw. It said the 10 toes of the statue within the prophecy in Daniel chapter 2 will later be connected to 10 horns in Daniel chapter 7. All right, so it has to deal with law and it has to deal with prophetic order. Daniel chapter 7 and 20, and of 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that speaketh very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellow. Revelation 13:1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So this number 10 is associated with laws, but it's also associated with prophetic order. Finally, all right, the number 10 is associated with testing. We already talked about that in the scriptures, that these children of Israel, they tested him, they tempted him 10 times. Daniel chapter 1, verse 11. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom was prince of the eunuchs, has said, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Verse 12, prove thy servants, I beseech thee 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat. So Daniel said, listen, test us, try us, give us 10 days. We don't want to eat no swine. We don't want to eat that pork. We don't want to eat the king's meat. Let us eat by vegetables. Let us eat pulse. Let us drink waters and test us for 10 days. 10 is associated with testing. And they came back and their skin and their flesh were more fair than the people that was eating the king's meat. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which shall come that you are about to suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that you may be tried. 10 is dealing with trying, and you shall have tribulations 10 days. Be thou faithful unto the death, and I will give you the crown of life. So I pray to those of you that serving the Most High, that you be faithful unto the death. It said that some of you are going to get cast into prison for 10 days to try you, to test you, to see what you really made about. So if you're a person that sees the number 10, I want you to keep these words in mind. Think about order. Think about instructions. Think about testing. Think about trials. Think about the Most High. Think about punishment or judgment. Think about something being complete. So if this video right here has helped you in any type of way, please share it with someone else. Also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button, all right, so that these videos can share on a larger scale through the YouTube algorithm and other social platforms as well. All right, so with that said, I pray that the Most High be with each and every single one of you until the next time we see each other again.